Hello, friends, and good morning. It is the 26th of October, and on today's podcast, we'll be covering a vast amount of news. I haven't spoken to you since these bombs were sent to these left-wing high-ranking officials and left-wing movie stars. Seems quite suspicious, no? Also, as you could tell from the intro, I am a little worried about this caravan coming up through our southern border, coming towards our southern border, rather. I don't know how Trump is going to handle this. I know military has been sent down to the border, active military. These aren't reserves. And I'm just wondering how all this is going to pan out. There are a lot of entrances into our country. You can think of Texas. You can think of Arizona, New Mexico, California. There's about, in my opinion, I believe there's about 30,000 to 40,000 people coming up through here, these migrants, and whether they're armed or not, this is a lot of people, and I don't know how it's going to be handled. I'm a little worried about it, and I believe there's a second wave coming behind this wave. But with that being said, before we get into the news and all of this, would you please go ahead and click that blue bell to get notifications, so when I post, you'll be the first to know. Also, please follow me on Twitter at True Reporting. And if you wouldn't mind, please leave a like. The more thumbs up that this video gets, the more times it is recommended to more people, thus more eyes on the truth. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and hop into it. This is True Reporting. So we see here on this Twitter post, breaking: 3 senior law enforcement officials tell NBC the return address name on the suspicious packages found at Clinton, Obama, and Soros' address belongs to DNC official Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Obviously, that's not the case because this is a genuine, one of the worst false flags I've seen. Is pretty reckless and pretty just not well thought out, in my opinion. Who mails bombs to people who don't open their own mail? These people are so high ranking, they're so important. They're featured in the public all the time. They don't open their own mail just in case something like this were to occur. They basically use their servants to act as bomb diffusing robots. But these people don't open their own mail, so it's a red flag for me right there. Repost from LB: these bomb scares were a cabal attempt to distract from what was supposed to happen today. This is from, I believe, 4chan. Testimony of Rod Rosenstein and George Papa D. White hats knew about the false flag, which is why testimonies were canceled yesterday, but bombs were already in the mail. I'm telling you, Rod Rosenstein is going to drop a bomb of his own, and they are scared. Not to mention Papa D's story. The Wired comment was likely sarcastic and doesn't matter. Rod Rosenstein was in the room when treason was discussed, and he is going to the Hill to spill the beans. Panic, panic, panic. So I believe he's talking about Papa D as Papa Trump, or Papa Donald, right? Right here we see another meme. Maxine Waters: I believe I got my bomb today. Did you get yours? Do you think this is going to work? Yeah, I got mine. I don't think they're going to fall for this shit. Yeah. We're not. The sheep will, but we won't. But it's just between this caravan and the bombs, and if you're awake, you can obviously see that this was just all left-wing agenda, right? This is all a conspiracy. So we see here, this is from an original post. I believe this is on 8chan. Right before midterms, big distraction from the border caravan, which is losing. All on the same day. Timer on a mail bomb. ISIS stickers on bombs. Alexander Soros finishes and publishes an op-ed for the New York Times a few hours after the news breaks. Stamps weren't canceled. 6 bombs, all duds. Am I missing anything else? No, this is the distraction. I believe the distraction of the caravan is backfiring on, well, not the distraction of it, but they want eyes off of the caravan, because the caravan has backfired in the Dems' face, because it's all pushed by left-wing entities moving this thing, funding this thing, pushing this thing. So one can only wonder now has it backfired? And is this a distraction, these bombs? Is this a distraction from the caravan? Bomb incident theories. Here we go. Sorry in advance. This may be a large posting. Number 1, the lone mentally ill individual most likely outcome to be reported by news. 1A. The media will most likely report that this was a lone individual who sent these bombs in a skewed political, ideological attempt to harm these political figures. Expect the blame to be placed on Trump for his divisive rhetoric targeting these people, and they may try to tie this into the QAnon movement. Expect many articles about the trolls on 4chan becoming a real-world threat. Activities moving offline, etc. Be prepared to counter this narrative. We have always been the movement of law and order, knowing violence is not part of the movement. We all know how these people want to portray us. 1B, this is the second theory. When they find the individual responsible, don't be surprised if he blows himself up similar to the Austin bomber. Third theory. The news is reporting that the explosives in the devices are a powder. The most likely powder would be gunpowder. Every manufacturer in the country has to add small traces of an identifying marker in their powder. It would be easily traceable back to the makers of the powder. Any fingerprints, DNA would also be collected. And let's not forget the devices were sent through the mail. Barcodes would trace it back to its original postal office immediately. We are looking at having much more information within the next 24 to 48 hours. And you know, with this weaponized autism, they will act fast. The victim card. Expect these people to try and garner sympathy and attempt to influence the election. The Kavanaugh hearings, the Khashoggi murder, the caravan have all failed to influence the political narrative in favor of the Dems. This is their next big attempt to swing the Overton black window back in their favor. We know George Soros has bad actors at his beck and call. Look back to the election when he had several organizations hiring people to disrupt and attack rallies. He may be the funder for this, which I believe he is. Q has called out 4 booms. All right, guys. This may have been the attempt to tie this into the QAnon movement and frame Q as the bomber. This was an FBI sting. The FBI found an individual who was wanting to do this. We know they have infiltrated many of the radical leftist organizations. This may have been a sting operation designed to out the groups attempting to set up a false flag. Fox News reported that the bombs were missing the trigger devices. If this was a lone individual, why would they not add the critical part? These bombs have had components of a bomb, but was missing the crucial piece to make them effective. Explains why the Soros employee was able to handle, open, and carry the device without it going off. We know the FBI has done this in the past during sting operations. If this was an FBI sting, the news coverage on this is going to make it impossible to hide. We may see the next backfire on the Dems prior to the election. Yeah, only one would hope, right? I believe it's already backfiring. Regardless of how this plays out, we need to be prepared to dig and archive at a moment's notice. If it was a bad actor, they may already be scrubbing their digital fingerprints. I would put money on it that right now there is a whole backstory being created. We need to find the holes. Based on past precedent, we know that revisions on the net, especially hurried, are sloppy. Find the facts, find the connections, find the truth. Absolutely. These things are hurried up and, they're done sloppy, like I said. Breaking news, the return address on the suspicious package that were sent to Obama, Soros, and Hillary has been connected to Debbie Wasserman Schultz. This is that false flag I warned people about over a month ago. The Democrats are trying to frame the Republicans. Absolutely. Dark to light marker. Boom, 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 boom. 4 booms that Anon was just talking about. This is from June 3rd. A week to remember. Dark to light, blackout necessary. So, yeah, big time. So we see here, this is the Red Cross funding another corrupt, I wouldn't even call it a charity anymore, Red Cross. We see it on the sides. proud sponsor of invasions, Red Cross, Red October, right here. Who set up these matching tents so perfectly aligned? An army of ragtag invaders? Absolutely not. Red October, stay tuned and watch Q+. So what do you guys think about that? Pretty nuts. Matt Graver says, no cancel stamps on packages. Insufficient postage to get them moving. If no USPS, United States Postal Service, processing, how did it end up in 2 states? A pipe bomb in an envelope would be recognized. United States Postal Service people have training on that due to Unabomber case. Absolutely. How to spot a false flag. Immediate national news coverage. Political agenda. Incident inspires intense emotion. Initial media stories conflict official story. No dead bodies. Celebrities used to influence citizens. Robert De Niro was sent one of these. Mainstream media manipulation tactics. Federal government, attention. So, yeah, how to spot one. I believe those were all of the bullet points that we need, right? Let me bottom line this for everyone. This entire bomb hoax was perpetrated to stop Trump from calling Democrats a mob. I mean, it's so obvious. The media already had these stories written yesterday. Bill Mitchell, great guy to follow on Twitter, by the way. So we see the Q clock that we look at. Obama's, Clinton, Soros, and CNN targeted with explosive devices officials. That was on 10/24, 2 days ago. On the same path line, on the same date, we see here, April 27th. How do you introduce evidence into an investigation legally? So how do you introduce evidence into an investigation legally? You have to set up all of these people, Obama, Hillary, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, CNN, Maxine Waters. All of these people are the ones that are the criminals. They are the ones that are against this, that are part of all the corruption that we see here today that has exploded and has almost fractured this country. And now we get to investigate every one of these people. So I believe, is this a white hat sting operation? Could be. Ben Collins, there will be a rush to pin these mail bombs on extremist talking points from fringe websites like 4chan and QAnon, adjacent communities on Reddit and Facebook, but Soros, Obama, and Clinton's have been viewed as the root of all evil on talk radio and Fox News for over a decade. This was on Hannity. But when he read this, he left out 4chan and QAnon, but kept going on with Reddit, Facebook, Soros, Obama, and the Clintons. He left out those 2 key words because he doesn't want more eyes on 4chan and QAnon. You know, Sean Hannity is a patriot. He doesn't want more of the sheep to start focusing back on 4chan and QAnon. Check that video out. It's definitely out there. If this was actually true and this package was delivered to CNN by the post office, why aren't the stamps canceled? Obviously, they have to stamp these American flag stamps up here to show that they've gone through the proper procedure. And we see here, this is who it was sent to. Suspicious package found: the Clintons, the Obamas, Eric Holder, Representative Wasserman Schultz, Maxine Waters, John Brennan, George Soros. All of these people is this the loophole into investigating them legally, as Q says. And I love this guy. I follow him. Some people say he's John F. Kennedy Jr. Start collecting all the deep state media stories that are attempting to link QAnon supporters to these fake bombs. It is a good sign as it proves their desperation and panic. And speaking of John F. Kennedy Jr., this is a good segue. I found this video linking a speech that John F. Kennedy Jr. was giving attached to the person who is creating these amazing We Are Q, killing Mockingbird Media, these amazing videos basically detailing the Q movement. And that voice sounds a lot like John F. Kennedy Jr. This gentleman has put it all together. He has done a great job at editing, and I wanted to show it to you. This blew my mind, and I believe that this is the same voice. Where there's a lot of effects on the voice in the main video coming that we always see, but it does sound so much like John F. Kennedy Jr. So why don't you fill me in the comments below? What do you think? Does this sound like his voice or not? Check this out, guys.
It's time to expand your thinking. You will need to reset everything you thought you knew about the world, about the people you trust, about history, about yourself. Let me tell you a story.
For life, as for the accomplishments of reaching up, I think perhaps Mr. General Washington would have been more pleased with the toils you have completed in his name than mine, and it's daunting to be in the presence of such a distinguished scholar as Professor Higginbotham, who, as you know, is a world-renowned expert on George Washington himself. Thomas Jefferson, though endlessly admiring of Washington, found him a little heavy-going. So I'm sure General Washington would have deemed our political magazine a bit of a
Very long time, our world has been under the growing influence of a vast transgenerational criminal mafia that was able to rise up to the highest levels of power. We didn't know because they talked and acted just like you and me.
And believe it or not, he went on to do great things in politics without ever having to become a lawyer.
We thought we could recognize true criminals by their words and actions, but we're deceived by their sophisticated speech, wealth, education, beauty, and power.
And believe it or not, he went on to do great things in politics without ever having to become a lawyer.
Through a system of threats, blackmail, and bribery, they would come to occupy the highest levels of power in government, corporations, and education. You may know them as the deep state or cabal.
Afflicted by many of the miseries that attend those who choose a life in public service. He was
most dangerously of all, they achieved almost total influence over the media, their primary means of controlling the good people of the world who were just trying to get on with living. They used this power to slowly convince us that we were the problem, that we were a threat to each other. They used race, gender, and religion to set us apart, and rewrote history to validate these false claims.
And by being conspicuously spare with words. His inaugural address of 1797 was the shortest given by any president, a mere 126 words. But don't keep constrained by the seeming perfection of his example. He was a human and was afflicted by many of the miseries that attend those who choose a life in public service.
So, what are your thoughts on that? Please leave your comments down below, right? I believe it sounds exactly like him. And great work. Definitely that video will be in a link in the description box below too. So we'll continue on with these memes. When you've made the Democrats so insane, they start sending explosive devices to themselves. And we see Trump smiling. I love it. Theory, Dems are going to plant bombs with themselves. Good guys intercepted their plans. This is a great theory. Good guys replace dim bombs with the funny fake ones that were discovered today. Good guys have a real sense of humor like Trump. Good guys put false flags on bombs. Timing was controlled by good guys, just like replacing bombs with fireworks previously, if you remember that. Then we see here, U.S. Code 18, treason. Whoever owning allegiance to the United States levies war against them, or adheres to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort within the United States or elsewhere, is guilty of treason and shall suffer death and shall be imprisoned not less than 5 years and fined under this title, but not less than $10,000. So yeah, U.S. Code 18. Then we come over here. 10.9.18 P priority. This is a priority, also part of the Q post. So yeah, code 18 2381. The post is 2381. So there's a lot there. James Comey, Andrew McCabe, James Baker, Bill Priestap. A lot of these people, Peter Strzok, all of these people fired are under the 2381 post, which is the code 2381 is treason. So there you go. Good linking right there from an anon. Fake sexual assault victims, fake refugees, now fake mail bombs. We are all learning how the media left are masters of distortion, deflection, and deception. I totally agree with that. So we start seeing, these are old posts, post 35, and they all have to do with, they all are signed off at 20, 4, 10, 20. And we know that these are the initials of Donald J. Trump. The 4th, the 10th, and the 20th letter of the alphabet are DJT. So we see 20 here lined up. 20 here lined up. 20 here. 20 here. All having to do with the FISA. The 20, FISA. 4, 10, 20, A, B, C, D, E, dot, 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 like I said before. So if last time Q posted was the 9th. So 20 days from now is the 29th. Actually, 3 more days. So 20 days from the 9th makes it the 29th. That's 3 days from now. Will Q return on the 29th? Will there be talk of the FISA? I believe that's on Monday, right? The 29th is on a Monday. So we will see. We will wait and we will watch, right? Caravan of immigrants. Oh, wait. If you guys, are looking for a job, you can go here. Caravan of immigrants hiring $24 to $45 an hour. Definitely go there. This is on nerdyhire.com. So if you're looking for a job, you can go there. Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. A very big part of the anger we see today, I love this tweet, in our society is caused by the purposely false and inaccurate reporting of the mainstream media that I refer to as fake news. It has gotten so bad and hateful that it is beyond description. Mainstream media must clean up its act fast. I say it all the time. I believe the mainstream media is the only thing that divides us. That's the only thing. From federal source, complete hoaxes. This is from a Fed source. Multiple wires when they only needed one. Reports of cell phones being involved was false. So no intention of harm. Now the questions, dry run or a false flag from the right or left trying to mess over the other side. We'll have to see. Then we see here the United States Postal Service does not deliver to homes of anyone under Secret Service protection. Oh my God. Like former President Clinton and Obama, all mail addressed to their residence is delivered to the Secret Service field office. Therefore, the reports that the bombs were delivered to the homes of the 2 former presidents is an absolute lie. That is all. Carry on. Jordan Sather tweeted out, I find it interesting that the misspelled letters on these suspicious packages are CNSA, White Hat Counterintelligence Operation. I find it plausible. I do too, Jordan. I really do. And with that being said, guys, if you found this informative and you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. Please follow me on Twitter at True Reporting. And please leave a like. The more likes that this video gets, the more times it is recommended to more people, thus more eyes on the truth. And if you would care in donating to this channel, you can definitely go to my Patreon. $10 or more will get you free shipping on merch. We have car decals, True Reporting decals, and t-shirts. Guys, I fully enjoyed this. There's a lot of stuff coming out. Be prepared for another podcast this afternoon and a live stream. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful morning. Have a wonderful Friday. We'll see you soon. Bye.